I don't want to say it out loud because I might sound like a fucking idiot.
What, you don't want to say that Ray's a clone?
Is Ray a clone of the fucking of Shinji's mom?
Where did you get that from?
There's just
Welcome back to Pro and Noob, episode 10. We hit the double digits.
Era.
Yeah. So, Mitch 692 Jarod, the Dark Jedi of the Nerd Academy podcast. Because I don't ever introduce Jarod.
It's okay.
Mr. Steamrolls my intros every time with something. Or flips me off.
No, I gave you the banana.
Did you like the holy banana?
What?
Crucified
the
banana.
holy banana. Holy banana was funny. I think that just in terms of it just being a simple bit that really tickled me, the banana over my middle finger was even funnier.
I was like, I'm going to leave it in, but I want the banana. So yeah, episode 15.
Yeah.
Lies and Silence.
Or as the thumbnails or the mid card.
It's something like a woman wants
which was
others
an entire
touch.
tweet. Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. I saw it. I was like, that's not going on the thumbnail.
We're
way
using
too
the
long.
title.
Yes.
But yeah,
though, before you get into it, you almost got a twofer this week. Because I watched it and I was like, is it fair? Then the ending happened and I was like, it's fair. It's totally fair.
I am happy with leaving it off where we are this week. But yeah,
I think you get enough in here.
For sure. I liked there was this episode more than most was like mostly kind of just vignettes, which I liked a lot. I liked a lot of vignettes this week, where like everybody kind of got like here's this, here's that. It wasn't so much like two concurrent plot lines that will like hit a like perpendicular moment where everything comes to a head and then we resolve together. Where this was just kind of like Shinji story. Masato story, Sasuke story, and then with like this big stinger at the end. So I did really enjoy the structure of this one.
Very character driven. Very
character driven. I enjoyed a lot of. I enjoyed a lot of the framing. I think this might be one of my favorite. This might be one of my favorite shot, as it were, episodes. For the most part, I think that I don't know why, there was just something about the framing. A lot of these shots in this episode just were like very evocative.
Especially when the kids are in the rooms. Like when the kids are laying down, like in the bed.
Yes. That in particular. The shot of Shinji at his mother's grave with Commander Ikari behind him. That was really powerful, you know, and I think that went a long way in visualizing the conversation they're having, you know, where Shinji, nowhere near as jaded as his father, you know, by virtue of profession, by virtue of age, you know, that was a very fascinating dynamic that made me actually want to hear Commander Ikari talk. Which is new for me.
Let me get my therapist book out. Like, tell me how you feel.
Yeah, like because it was just so fascinating. Because Shinji is just so empathetic and is so just kind of hangs on every moment, and he is so good at noticing little things and committing them to memory. And we see him throughout the show go, hey, I noticed you said something in a certain way. What did that mean? Hey, I noticed you did something in a certain way. What was that about? And, you know, and that's also like, you know, real world, you know, something that is very true of like people who have suffered from neglect, from emotional and mental abuse. There is that level of hyper analyzation of, you know, mood and tone in others. You know, it's that It's that phenomena where you'll have somebody who is like scary good at being able to feel and hear movement in a house.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh, I can hear this. I can feel I can feel the way the floor is moving around me to know like the gate and who it is and whatever. So that checks out so much for Shinji in the way that he holds on to things emotionally and as like kind of like tokens of a person. To juxtapose that with this very cold and detached, but like surprisingly at peace and surprisingly very I can't believe I'm about to say this, and you know what I'm about to say. I think you know what I'm about to say, and I think part of you is going to rub it in my face after our Acolyte review for Comic Book Cast.
I would never.
That was a little Jedi what came out of Commander Rokari's mouth. Like there's a coldness and there is a hint of cynicism to it that does devalue the Jedi-ness of it. But I can see a very positive version of like,
not having attachment and letting pictures go and memories fade.
Yeah, because I have you here. I have you here. I will always have you here. I don't need a photo of you. You live here with me now. That was powerful. And that really, really surprised me from him. Like I said, it was just very meaningful and very powerful in a way that I never anticipate from Commander Rokari. But again, there is that, but there is a cynicism to it with him.
Oh, 100%.
And I think it does undercut the potential power in what he's saying. That, and again, that's not a critique of the writing. It's in his character.
No, it's a character thing. Yeah, 100%.
To kind of pull the rug. Like you were on the cusp of saying something incredibly profound. On an emotional level that would mean the world to this child.
You just carried all over it.
To recognize like those we love live within us and cannot be defined and contained to totems of their existence and the totems of their very being after they leave us. I think it very beautifully connects back to Ritsuko. And her mother within the Magi, that it's like, that person lives here. Like there are things that will immortalize them in theory, but their spirit, what they taught us, what we love about them lives within us. And in some ways, death is conquered in that way. And in a show that is so interested in themes of, again, creation, of life and death and what does life and sentience mean, I think that being able to go, death is not the end because you live within the hearts of those you loved and who loved you is really powerful. And it's not an idea I'm surprised to see in the show. I'm surprised
it came out of Rokari.
I'm surprised by its messenger, and I'm surprised it was framed the way it was when it was. If you told me a mission statement like that would be uttered within the show, I would not be surprised. The who, the how, and the why shocks me. But yeah, I mean, just on an emotional level, that is probably the scene that stuck with me the most, that really landed with me the hardest.
It's a good scene, great scene.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredibly shot. It's beautifully framed. So to get into the notes for a little bit,
let's dive into the notes.
Wait, hold on. It threw me to the top of my notes, and I need to scroll a little bit. I completely lost my place.
Oh, don't you just hate that?
I'm sure this will be either edited out or edited to make fun of me.
Oh, none of it's edited to make fun of you.
That's a lie.
It's edited to heighten and shine a spotlight on your comedic prowess.
Yes, of course. But yeah, so Oh my goodness, I just lost her name.
Which one?
Shinji's guardian.
Misato.
Thank you. I'm like, I was about to say Misato, and I was like, oh, yeah, no.
The eternal struggle.
No, I really, really thought that the bar after the wedding was really that was a really interesting look into Misato and Kaji, yeah, and Kaji's their relationship. Okay, I'll say it. Everybody was coming down on me at first. I'm sold on Kaji.
Wow.
I'm Kaji pilled, everybody.
Wow.
I've been Kaji pilled.
Wow.
I listen, the moment I was like, oh,
this man went from I don't trust this possible groomer to I'm Kaji pilled.
Okay, first of all,
in the space of a couple of weeks. I know you didn't say I know.
No, I will not allow, I don't care how funny the bit is. I will not allow somebody to put words in my mouth. I did not say that Kaji was a groomer. I said that just
I never
by the
said
standards
you
of 90s television, Kaji should have put his arm up and said, "Kid, chill."
I never said I quote Jarod Buckner Stubbs. I just put my own
There was no
phrasing
BBL Kaji, although I may have made that joke explicitly because I can't help myself.
Bit like Kaji.
It turns
now
out,
I get why you Kaji pilled.
But it turns out that Kaji is not like us. There's your intro. You can play the instrumental. Anyway,
I get no one will ever see this. No.
I'd
rather that not happen.
Okay, well, someone make an edit. I need one of the regulars who are always in the comments to just put a little.
I'll get Mick on it. Don't worry.
Beat your ass. I had the Bible of God watching. That plays really well for the show. But anyway, but no. So I love Kaji. Now that but here's the thing. He seemed like, okay. I have a distinct vitriol for somebody like Kaji if he were the Nerve Company man he was framed as initially. Like, you have somebody like Commander Rikari, who is a little man with big ideas, with an outsized ego, who's obsessed with his work, and there's a certain level of, I hate you, I hate what you're doing, I hate everything about you. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. See, we're bringing it all back, everybody. And I'm allowed to keep making these jokes because everybody knows how much I love Kendrick Lamar, even though these jokes aren't funny anymore. But meet the Akaris. Okay, I hit them all. But no, like, so I have this distinct hatred for like somebody like a Commander Rikari, but on some level, I'm like, but I know you believe what you're saying. I know you believe your own propaganda. And it's not that it makes me hate you less, but I have nothing but disdain for a gun for hire.
Yeah.
Who is like, I am willing to throw in with the lies and the deceit and the destruction and the devastation that is born out of this playing God. Like, if you believe you're capable of playing God, you're dangerous and you need to be dealt with. If you see opportunity in working for the lunatic playing God, you're a scumbag in a completely different way, and I hate you in a different way, but a very potent one.
Yeah.
And that was part of my disdain for Kaji, is that he is like fully going along, like, again, that angel shows up for Asuka's little water fight where she helps take out a third of the UN naval forces. And he's like, I'm out, mission accomplished. I got to go do my own thing. So fend for yourself, kiddo. If that is, I'm just following orders because I got to do stuff for Commander Rikari, I don't fuck with you. But if this is somebody who is risking life and limb to infiltrate and bring to light and bring to justice all of these crimes against humanity and all of the deceit and bring and shine a light in the darkness here of all of the absurd bullshit Nerv is up to. You went from I don't like you, I don't trust you, you're a spineless, like, mewling fucking coward, to oh, you're about that shit. And for that,
shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
Kaji, I owe you an apology. Mitch can throw up the Shaq meme. I was not familiar with your game.
You're in charge of the StreamYard. Why don't you have that on hand?
I don't have it on hand. I mostly do clips. And there's not a clip of Shaq saying that. It's just the meme.
That's awesome.
So you can just throw that on screen with my head on it. I was not familiar with your game, Kaji. But no, so I did really love that. And I love that there is again, it's another archetype I love of, I play this suave, debonair, whatever, but it's like, yeah, man, that's a mask, because the life I'm about is not for the faint of heart. So like, these are one of those moments where I could never pin down, do you care for Misato? Did you ever care for Misato? Is there a level of is there just some of that fuckboy stuff going on here that was going to be amplified by the side he actually took in this conflict? When in reality, it's no, like, you clearly did care for her immensely. And while you cannot, it is not in your nature to deny her because of a sincere attraction between them. He also knows, like, for your safety and for my safety, we need to keep each other at arm's length here. And that, seeing that veil be pierced in Misato's moment of profound vulnerability, that, again, very powerful, very beautiful. Knowing that Kaji has not ulterior motives, but is like, he is working at a different end than he was presented as, makes it clear that he is not doing any of this for the fun of it. None of this none of this is a simple game to him. And I think that he realized a real breakthrough when and obviously, he has a gun pressed against the back of his head, but when he is ready to be like, okay, I'm either going to die right here, or you're coming down the rabbit hole with me, because I think you're ready to make these hard decisions and undo the wrong here. When he opens up that chamber, that, like, he's like, yeah, man, like, none of this is what it seems. Yeah. And I got Commander Ricari looking me in my eyes, talking all kinds of sick shit. Plus, here's Adam on the cross.
yeah. With a spear in his chest.
And
no legs.
Well,
Longinus.
Lots of legs. Lots of legs, but not his. Well, obviously are his own, but not thump. Yeah, not
full
legs.
No.
So bringing us to the moment I'm sure everybody's excited for.
Rain a tube.
Yeah, that.
Can't believe you're not even talking about it. I'm genuinely.
We're gonna circle back. I promise. I need to talk to you about Adam.
Shoot.
Okay. Adam, so he is called out as the first angel. But when the door opens, Misato calls Adam an Ava.
You got to remember at this point, Misato doesn't actually know what's going on. That's her first look at that.
That was my next question. That was going to be the question I was about to ask you. Is that her not quite knowing what she's seeing in the moment?
Yeah, she has no clue.
Or is that her accidentally telling on information she is not supposed to disclose?
No, she
what is that? Clearly an angel. I'm calling it an Ava because I know they're the same thing. She just went, oh.
Okay, Joe.
Okay. This continues my theory that the Avas are just angels.
It's an interesting theory.
Like, the fact that you can look at one of these and think remotely that this is one of yours means that they have to be the same thing.
I mean, not necessarily, because you're getting that from someone that has never seen this one thing and is just going like, oh, giant thing.
I'm just really struggling with the distinction between them. Like,
that's fair.
You know, if trying to figure out what distinguishes an angel from an Ava in that very, like, you know, like, this is a living being that we have made whole cloth. What, you know, I don't know. It's just, there's just something here that isn't clicking with me that I feel
fair.
like and again, not clicking on like a narrative, like I don't like it way, but not clicking.
No.
The math ain't mathing quite yet. And I think it's going to start mathing soon.
I told you last week when you get answers. So
when did you say that was again?
Oh, I can't tell you that. I told you the once. That's
not how
that's a one-time deal.
Shame on me for not writing it down. So let's go watch the episode again. But no,
for it, I guess. No.
So no, I'm not wasting our time on that. Especially if I roll poorly, then that's just embarrassing for everybody.
All right, I'll tell it. It was episode 23.
It is 23. Okay.
At least in the context of last week's episode. No, but
oh yeah, that's so long. So long.
No, it's the right. I mean. No, actually, yes, it's a decent chunk away.
That is late into the show.
Oh yeah,
for
it's very late into the show. Yeah.
Again, it just leaves me with a lot of questions about what the end game for the show is. But yeah, so I was so transfixed by that. I'm so excited to see if Misato is about to become a rogue agent within there. If she is about to join Kaji on
that'd be some shit.
Infiltration, and
cool.
You know, kind of filter him any intel she has that he wouldn't have access to, and vice versa. That is something I'm very compelled by, because again, the Atom reveal does not give us much. But here's another question I have for you. When we first see Atom presented, it looks like it's in a tiny case.
Oh, what, when Kaji hands it over?
Yeah.
Am
I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay, so that little piece of Atom has since grown into this.
Possibly, I assume so.
Or did they find a piece of Atom and they've had the original chunk, the main chunk of Atom, the top part, to quote John Mulaney, the top part of Atom. They've had it and they're finding more Atom.
Could very well be. I'm not sure.
Okay, are you trolling me or am I or am I splitting hairs and it doesn't matter?
I mean, you might be splitting hairs, it doesn't matter. Adam's Adam, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one's the biblical Adam and one's just not the biblical Adam.
Whoa.
Maybe there's two.
Okay. Okay. So nope, not touching that. Nope. Nothing.
Oh, Jarod, come on.
No. Nope.
What are you gonna say?
There's too much there.
No. Just don't get it started. Just roles are reversed now. Don't get it started. Just tell me what the direction you were gonna go in there.
I'm trying to figure out if now we're approaching cloning, which is.
I mean, you brought that up before.
Upsetting me, but I just okay. So was it a piece of Atom, and it grew into the rest of the thing?
Hey, possibly to explain why its legs aren't there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that it's regenerating Oh, maybe the sphere of Longinus is used to stifle the regeneration period. But I also can't tell if it's dead or not. I can't tell if Adam's dead or alive on that thing because it's not moving, and it has literally been crucified.
It's kind of hard to move when your only full limbs are nailed to a
Sure, but like its head isn't moving. We're not seeing all 39 of its fucking eyes blink, but so that's something I'm going to be thinking about moving forward. Ray in the tank, Ray in her back to tank. Speaking
very 90s anime looking, I love it. With the pipes and the
Speaking of cloning.
I adore when people get like that.
I don't want to say it out loud because I might sound like a fucking idiot.
What, you don't want to say that Ray's a clone?
Is Ray a clone of the fucking of Shinji's mom?
Where did you get that from?
There's just something about the framing, and there's a part of my brain. There was a part of my brain that with this show more than anything I think I've ever watched, that is like, throw a long shot, Jarod. Throw a fucking bomb across the field, Jarod. Say shit that doesn't make sense. I don't.
That's been this show so far.
There's just something about the way that like so much of the episode hung on the mother's grave, on her death, what it meant to Commander Ikari, what it meant to Shinji, and that there's that beat where Shinji's like, "You held the rag like a mother."
Yeah.
That like there's just a lot of like very pointed
motherly
language used in this episode about motherhood, about the absence of a mother figure, about loss of that figure, and in every one of those scenes that hinge on the absence of and the loss of a mother, Ray is there. They're all doing their dummy plug test together, so obviously Ray's in the room. You held the rag like a mother while they're cleaning the school, and then when that transport lands to pick up Commander Ikari, Ray is in the back, and Shinji has that moment, and I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like the shoe that's gonna drop is not that Commander Ikari is replacing Shinji with Ray, but that he's found a way to resurrect his wife. But then there's a part of me that's like, that is so fucking weird.
It is fucking weird, isn't it?
And I can't. And I want that to be wrong so badly.
But you want it to be that, don't you?
No, I don't know. I think it. Again, do I think it takes the development of playing God, like that theme, really far? Yeah. Do I think that it opens up a lot of weird questions about everybody involved in the narrative? Also, yeah.
Well, what do you mean by everyone?
Just if the shoe drops that Rei Ayanami is a genetic duplicate of Commander Ikari's wife and Shinji's mom, it's just what like everybody's relationship to her now has this weird baggage that it's different for everybody. It's just like, how do we approach this? Knowing now what we know.
That's fair.
What does that mean? What does that mean for how Shinji approaches her? What does that mean for how Asuka approaches her? How does that mean for how Commander Ikari approaches her? Like, that's really loaded and really fucking complicated. But yeah, there's just something about the framing and like, I don't know, like if you're able to tell me what are they doing with her in the tank, if you're able to say.
They talk about at the beginning.
What was it?
The dummy system.
Oh, so it's more dummy plug stuff?
Mm.
Interesting. But yeah, no, there's a lot there.
That's a really interesting theory.
Yeah, one moment. As you were saying.
Now I got to remember what I was saying.
You were talking about my interesting
oh yeah, because then what you just gone from at the start talking about what Commander Ikari was talking about, like what Gendo was talking about, and how you're surprised it came from him. But then if that happens where she is a clone of Yui Ikari, Shinji's mum and his wife, or deceased wife, once was wife, completely contradicts everything he said about memories and.
Well, I think you then enter a really interesting place. I personally love when a villain's idea, I use villain loosely, when an antagonistic force, and by all accounts, Commander Ikari has been an antagonistic force in this show.
Mm-hmm.
He is deceiving our heroes. He is misleading them. He's feeding them half-truths and faulty information in the heat of battle.
He's holding a biblical figure hostage in his basement.
He is holding a biblical figure hostage in his basement, nailed to a fucking cross. There's a lot to unpack with his motives and that we don't quite know. But I do love that kind of inconsistency in a character who occupies his position. To make a Star Wars comparison, it's one of the reasons why I find the Legends version of Darth Bane so compelling.
Yeah.
Darth Bane, when he establishes the rule of two, it is with the expressed intent and desire that the strongest of the Sith shall rule, and that to distill the Sith lineage down to two at a time means that inevitably the stronger one will win. Either the master will realize he bet on the wrong horse and has to find a new apprentice, or the apprentice will kill and usurp the master in single combat. And Bane really stands on that shit until Bane realizes his mortality is catching up with him.
Yeah.
And he reverse engineers a lot of flimsy arguments to justify trying to find a way to extend his own life. Because, when your whole life is built around the distillation of power, relinquishing that power is unthinkable.
Yeah, yeah.
So he, who has spent all this time across, at the beginning of a third book, 2 books before that, trying to justify this ideology and is justifying him wiping out his own people, now he's getting cold feet. And is like, oh no, but Darth Xana isn't strong enough to actually usurp me. She's just letting me get old, and that's not fair, and she can't do that. And I need to find a new apprentice, and I need to find a way to find a new body, and I need to and it's all of these justifications for you can't actually live up to the standards you set for yourself. And you can't live with admitting that. So you're going to justify it ad hoc. I think that could be the case here with Commander Ikari. If Rey is a clone of his late wife in any way, I think that it's very fascinating to take this idea of, I think there's a lot of interesting routes for that. First of all, it is him going, I don't need photos, I don't need this, because I know I could replicate it.
Yeah.
There is also the element of him going, I don't need this because I can play God. I can play God, and I don't have to feel these feelings. I don't have to confront loss. I don't have to mourn, because I can just undo it. And
but then he sends her out in these giant giant things to risk their life. What kind of a man would do that? That's fucked up.
I don't know. The same guy who does it with his own kid.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know? So, like, I do think there's room for that. And I think there's room for adequate development of him speaking out of both sides of his mouth on that specific issue. Do I necessarily want it to be Yue Ayanami? No. Like, would I make that decision if I were writing this show? No. What do I want to be going on with Ray? I'm not sure. There is something clearly going on with Ray.
Oh yeah.
There is a there. I just don't know what it is yet. But yeah, no, I think this is a great episode. It was very compelling. It brought a lot of emotional truth to the narrative that not necessarily that it wasn't there already. But it really developed it and gave us a really nice stinger to advance the plot as well. So yeah, I really like this episode.
Good. Can't believe there was no more Mind Palace stuff. That was... Especially after the GIF, I'm just like, he's got something.
After I finished the episode, I just texted Mitch like a GIF of a cross in a field.
I was like, is this banana related or is this not?
No, it was the episode. But that's the thing, is it gives us so little to work with.
I mean, true, yeah.
And, and that's, and I had a conversation off air with Levi, a dear friend of me, former contributor for the Nerd Academy. And he asked me, he was like, how are you liking Evangelion so far? Like, he asked me in a very interesting way. He was like, how are you liking it as a viewer and as a first-time watch, and how are you enjoying it as a critic? And I obviously have a lot of mixed opinions about calling myself a critic. I think I think there's a lot of hacks online who have done irreparable damage to that title.
Oh, 100%. I'm one of them.
That that a lot of people think critic means criticize and not critical analysis. I'm a firm believer that the best critics don't just give you a list of things that are wrong, but bring critical analysis to a text and give you an eye into what they took from it, or why they think that the mission of the work was not achieved. And don't just go, it's cameos and nostalgia. And that's inherently bad and whatever. Collider.com bullshit. But yeah, I told him.
So where are you standing on those three things?
I told him, I was like, I'm enjoying the show. There's a lot of themes that I really like. I just feel like on a plot level, development has kind of been in a rut. I feel like we have, and I vocalized that to you on the last episode. So like that's a big revelation here or anything, but like for me personally, I have not felt like. I don't know if anybody heard my girlfriend go, wow. Sound like a kid on crack meme. But no, I think there's been I think that the plot development has kind of been in a rut. Not in a rut, but like it's stalled a little bit.
You still,
we have not gotten much more clear insight into what are the angels, what is happening, what is the plan. Just that there is a plan and there's something shadowy happening here. There has been a lot of really good character development, and I love the focus on character. I am excited for the plot to kind of get moving again at the pace it was early into the show. And it seems like we're very much reached that point. We are going to put our foot on the gas here and really, really advance the plot element. But yeah, I was like, I told him, like, I've been yearning for more plot, but I've been getting character in lieu of that. And I can't necessarily complain too much. But I also think that my desperation to get the plot moving is a byproduct of this show. That we've kind of gamified. Can I figure it out? And my excitement to get answers. And how that's kind of muddied, and not necessarily muddied the waters and made it more difficult for me to enjoy the show. It's just added a layer of like, okay, come on, guys, come on. I want to get.
You want what you want from the show, right? It's just got to wait for.
Yeah,
you don't want to have to wait for it. You want it now.
I know. I'm getting antsy. That's why I've enjoyed all the 2-parters. But yeah, no. Like I said, very, very much love this episode. I think this was a standout one for me so far. And yeah, that's all I got.
Standout one. That's interesting. It's very interesting. But to be fair, it's a lot. I do like this episode a lot. Very character development, as you say. But yeah, so next week, let me just double check because I'm pretty certain it's
a twofer?
No, it's the last one before a twofer.
Oh, good.
Which might tell you something. Did you see the synopsis of the episode on Netflix?
I saw it. I can't remember it.
That's fair. But no.
A lot of the time I skim the synopsis, if anything.
That's fair.
I just kind of go, okay, who's important,
Yeah.
and kind of like, other than
That's
that,
totally
nothing
fair.
really.
That's totally fair. Oh, it's just pure curiosity now. Yeah, last one before the twofer. And then you'll be happy to hear is 2 twofers back to back.
Oh, baby, yeah.
And then you're going to hate the fact that it's 3 singles, but...
well.
Well, there's balance. Fucking do.
Yeah.
Those things should be. Marvel relevance.
Right?
Well, I don't know.
Right? Speaking of Marvel stuff, this will be out after it happens, but come back over to the Nerd Academy podcast and catch the replay of the live news roundup Mitch will be joining me for to talk about everything in San Diego.
Very much looking forward to that. I have a lot to say. Even though I talked about it earlier today, we're recording this on a Monday.
Yeah, I saw the community episode was out for CBC.
Yeah. So the community tab's working now. Excellent.
Yes.
Thank God. Goddamn YouTube. But yeah, so I've got a lot more to say than I have on the CBC one. So tune in for that. So
that's Mitch for I can cuss on TNAP.
I actually swore quite a lot this week, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You swore good on our Boys and Acolyte 2-part.
I'm going to be honest. The heat got to me doing that. And 3 hours in this sauna of a room. Yeah, that was... Especially the time
during
in the morning.
Hours, not the San Diego.
Yeah, the Boys and the Acolyte one.
Oh, okay. Do you know when that's going to be out on your channel? Or on the CBC channel?
Should be this week.
Hell yeah.
Sometime I will let you know when each one is done, but I don't know. I just give stuff to what I mean. It's like, hey, this week, please. And he's like, on it. And then you kind of have to wing it to see when it's out, unless I ask.
I just get excited to know when I'm on that channel. I say it every time. I watched all of you when I was a damn kid, and now I'm like, hey, I'm on Comic Book Cast this week.
The word kid hurts. But
I was a teenager. Listening.
That's still kind of not great, but it's better.
I'm 26 now. I was an avid listener in my mid to late teens.
Back in the youth.
Back in my youth. Back in my youth. My youths.
My youth. Damn youths. But yeah, next week, another single. Follow Jarod. What way is it?
Yeah, you're pointing the right way.
Yes.
Also, Ionized Bastard Season 2. Full out now.
Finally.
Overmating Systems YouTube channel. Oh man, the season finale was so good, guys. You guys are not ready. You're not.
I need to catch up.
How close are you? How close are you to the finale?
I finished the episode that I was on last week. I can't remember what one it is. Hold on, I'm good. I've got to switch YouTube accounts. That's the wrong button. Dope. I don't want a month free. I never want a month free. Episode 11. That's the last one I watched.
What's the name of that one?
The Devil Within.
Oh, okay. So you met Salvage in his new human body.
Yes. That's what I thought. I just wasn't 100% sure on it, but yeah.
Yeah, the next episode, it's not my favorite combat we've ever done.
Oh, that's
but it is one of the moments where Michael is really good as a DM at doing like straight up Dungeons and Dragons shit inside of a Star Wars campaign.
Nice.
By like going, oh, you guys haven't done that like TTRPG thing where you just fight a monster.
Yeah.
So it's in the thumbnail for the next episode. This isn't a spoiler. We fight an Acklay, the big green thing from the Geonosian Arena in Attack of the Clones.
That's the Mantis thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that Obi-Wan that goes after Obi-Wan in episode 2. But here's the fun twist. It is not a normal Acklay. It is a cyborg Acklay.
I've noticed that Ionized Bastards really like cyborgs. Really like cyborgs. It's like two cyborg Gungans, and I'm just like...
Man and Machine became a very big theme. It's one of the things, and this is another little note. I don't know. It's probably not happening this week because Michael hasn't said anything. Most likely next week, we'll be doing like a live stream kind of Q&A talk back about the first 2 seasons on all remaining systems.
Nice.
And this is definitely going to be something that comes up. And it's one of the things that I think is why all of us are so proud and have so much love for Ionized Bastards is that the show, when we were planning it, and in the first episode, was originally going to it felt like we were trying to kind of do not a parody, but the goal was not to tell like an emotional Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Fabian started out as me wanting to do like a parody of like a dude bro power fantasy. Of somebody whose backstory is way too fucking convoluted, and he's kind of like he's kind of the gray Jedi stereotype, and kind of like an edgelord star killer parody. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be so funny. And like Michael and I talked about, like Fabian Martell is gonna be what happens when the Green Goblin has a lightsaber.
Nice.
And then we did an episode and went, oh, there's something here. And then we did another episode and we're like, oh, wait, there's really something here. And then it turned into this whole thing about pain and cycles of trauma and overcoming and breaking cycles and man and machine and our propensity for violence. And then it's the joke Michael loves to make. He's like, we accidentally made like a really good Star Wars story, and it's why we're so proud of it. But yeah, like again, like the cyborgs and all of that shit is a big part.
You should be proud of it. It's good. I'm enjoying
it. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
Was it? It's all remaining systems, right?
All remaining systems is a YouTube channel. Yeah.
You should do that thing where you make a playlist on TNAP of those videos and do it that way.
I'm probably going to. I know Michael has an Ionized Bastards playlist on his channel. I'm probably going to do the same thing. I also got the idea to make a Nerd Academy Greatest Hits playlist and just curate my favorite episodes of the show. And then I didn't because I was like, this is so fucking self-indulgent. But also there's a part of me that's like, but these are the episodes I'm proud of and you should take pride in it. And then I went, you're jerking yourself off in public on a channel that doesn't.
It's a difficult balance.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, I want to put the Phantom Menace. I want to put both of the Phantom Menace deep dives, like the Movie Club one and the actual Phantom Menace 25th anniversary. I want to put both Phantom Menace and how we got here. There's a couple movie reviews I'd want to put in there. The non-Star Wars Jedi Council episode is one that I would want to put in there. And I was like, there are some hitters in here that I would like to, kind of have their perpetuity.
What you could do, I know it's just completely off topic. Whether it makes it in or not, I don't know. But the Ionized Bastards bits will, because I want to plug that stuff. You know how people have like a channel trailer? I can't remember if you got one of those. Like, edit around with that and just call it like TNAP Greatest Hits trailer. Link a playlist, and then there you go. You got.
That's not a bad idea. I am horrible at editing stuff together.
You don't get better until you try it, do you?
I know. We tried to do an Ionized Bastards season 2 trailer.
Yeah.
That turned into a Ionized Bastards previously on, and then Kaysen's computer ate it.
Classic, yeah. Classic.
When you finish, because you're a good better editor than me and Kaysen, I might see if you can make a previously on Ionized Bastards for season 3. But
I can try. If this thing here, she can hear the ding dong.
Yeah.
Doesn't die in the next 6 months, I'll have a crack at it.
Well, the plan is to start season 3 in a month or so. So get caught up and then maybe cut something together. And I'll have Kaysen send you some of the funny assets he made for the first one. But
nice. Classic.
But yeah, so that's just me and Mitch shooting the shit here at the end. So anyway, Nerd Academy Podcast, all Ionized Bastards and Epic Confrontations trivia. That's where you can find
Get
me.
my man monetized.
Also, a little bit of sizzle. Your boy might have a new teammate for the teams division, and you guys aren't ready for who it is. But I can tell you this: you won't know what hit you.
So
cut that out. What the
fuck? That was just me guessing.
New mask, same task, baby.
Wow. So yeah, next week. Bye.
Have a nice day.
Hey guys, thanks for watching or listening. You know, whatever flavor you prefer. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the good stuff so you don't miss an episode. And of course, leave a comment. You know, tell us what you thought about this episode of Neon Genesis. You know, if you watched it before or you haven't, I generally love to hear what people think about this show. If you're following along with us, that's great. If not, and you watched it before, you know, tell us what you think about this one specific episode in particular, because we are trying to keep Jarod spoiler free as much as possible. And yeah, you know, any help is greatly appreciated for this little channel project we're working on here. We're trying to build this up, and of course we can't do that without you guys. So yeah, any help is greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you all for the next one. So take care.